I don't know if I can. I'm on the right one. Oh, I guess I can. All right, everybody, hang on one sec. I'm gonna go live here on Facebook. Right here. Good. Okay. Should be going live here in a second. I gotta mute and we'll be good.
You're on already.
All right. I know I just gotta mute it. Because it's gonna make noise if I don't.
It actually doesn't.
Okay. I know. All right, so we good? All right, excellent. Okay, now we got that going. I hate doing that, all that recording stuff, but now that we get that up and running, let's get going, everybody, because I don't want to keep you. I know that there's a lot of, it's New Year's Day, and so we still have time to be able to enjoy the rest of the time before the week gets started and life gets started again. I'm going to mute everybody out. All right. Well, I'm going to give everybody a few ideas and really kind of give you some updates. And I definitely recommend everybody get on tonight's corporate Zoom update that's going to be taking place at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be very important because they're going to go through this contest that's taking place where you can literally be able to win a car. And that's outstanding. So give me 1 second. I want to share my screen with y'all. Okay, so Happy New Year, everybody. And getting started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by telling you all, and this is something that is very big for all of our businesses, everyone. I'm going to say this, that there's a lot of people out there who they love our current set of autosavers. You know, obviously we've got the State Animal Series in silver. For the past 3 years, that's been outstanding, and they're going to continue that for the people who want to get the State Animal Series in silver. You know, you got some beautiful coins there for each of the different 50 states. But for some people, like ourselves personally, where we've got all of the coins within the State Animal Series in silver, we've got the different gold notes that are available that are beautiful. We've got a lot of the Silver Eagles. And then we also have, you know, hang on 1 sec. So we even have some of those gold State Animal Series. And so I'll tell you, we love them all, but the beauty of the world, I think, everybody, this one right here is going to give us a brand new, fresh start on the autosavers because number one, these are stunning coins, and they just started today. And I'm going to show you what some of these coins are. They're limited mintage on each of these, and they're not something that have been out there for a while. So people aren't going to have a lot of duplicates. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to be, you know, getting these, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. So I want you to see these two videos. The first one you've probably already seen. The second one is very new, but they're both brief. It'll be less than 2 minutes for both. So check this out.
Join 7K on a journey you won't forget. Explore the world's most beautiful natural sights, one continent at a time. From staggering waterfalls and monolithic canyons to glittering mountains and steaming lakes of sulfur. Become acquainted with the serene and vibrant natural wonders that dot our incredible world. Find the postcard beaches you've never known the names to, and some of the strange and curious places you've only heard of. And start to build your bucket list with silver coins guiding the way. Uncover hidden gems, revisit old memories, and revel in the awe-inspiring beauty in our world, all the while stacking assets and dreaming of your future. Beauty of the World, a 7K exclusive silver ounce coin collection, will soon be available as an autosaver option. Collect them all and travel the
world. All right, so I think you've all seen that. I'm just going to do one thing very quickly, everybody, and I think this is probably going to freeze, but I'm going to switch to my Ethernet. So I'm going to freeze just for a second. I'm going to be right back, but I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi. Well, we're having Wi-Fi issues here, everybody, so sorry about that.
Maybe that's good news.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, let me get back to what I was going to show you. So this is the next one. This is the first set that's going to be released in our in the Beauty of the World series. So if you've not yet seen this,
G'day,
then watch.
and welcome 7K to the wild and wonderful world awaiting you in the Australian outback. Join us for a brand new autosaver adventure on a walk about the continent. You'll explore some real rippers, from the dizzying heights of Cape Wye to the strange labyrinth that we call Bungle Bungle Range. Take a peek at the lonely landscape of Flinders Ranges, then a dip into Rotorua Hot Springs. The beauts you'll see on these silver coins will have you gobsmacked, but don't forget, hidden in each one is a little something from us to you. From all of your 7K guides, we hope you enjoy your bush adventure and never forget the beauty of the world.
Awesome. So I'm going to tell you what this is going to do, everybody. This is going to open up, in particular, right now, it's going to open up the chance for us to go out and just start asking the question, who do you know in Australia? Who do you know in Australia? Because that can open up a door for a conversation with someone right here in our own backyard. Just to give you an example, and I'm just going to stop this like this so I get a little bit of light here. But just to give you an example, if I were to go up to a friend of mine and just say, hey, listen, who do you know in Australia? Our company's expanding out there. Then what they might do is they might then say, oh, let me think. Or they might be able to point me to somebody who does know people in Australia, or they may say, why, what are you doing? And start asking that question. So it's a way to go about opening up the door. But it's going to be each of the 6 different continents. I don't know how they're going to squeeze in Antarctica, because I know that that's the 7th continent, but I don't know how many different things there are down in Antarctica that you can make coins of, other than a lot of ice and snow. But what I am going to do is I will tell you, this is going to open up our international market. It's going to get a lot more people excited and jazzed again. These have limited mintage, and I'm going to show you exactly how to go about setting it up as your autosaver. So there's a lot of folks out there. I would recommend start reaching back out to people with a renewed enthusiasm. Even people who may have canceled their autosaver. This is a chance for them to get back excited with something that is probably going to even have a higher market value, as we'll see in Stack and Sell, simply because it is unique and new and no one else has it. So I'm going to show you how to go about setting this as your autosaver. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into your back office, and you're going to click on the My Autosavers link. Now, this is right on your dashboard in your back office. From there, what it's going to do is you're going to click on Add Autosavers, or if you've already got an autosaver in there and you want to keep it, just leave it. But you can also add in a different one. If you want to change the autosaver from whatever you're getting now to the Beauty of the World, just go in and cancel that one and add this one. And then you're going to scroll down to the Beauty of the World, such as this right here is what you're going to see when you get to that page. And you're going to pick your run date. So you're going to open up this little drop-down window as you've seen in this still shot here. And you're going to be able to pick the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, or the 26th. Okay. Now, I want everybody to hear me and hopefully understand me without me making this confusing. Anytime someone enrolls for a membership, they're going to have their autosaver default to either the 1st or the 15th. Meaning, if I sign up under you the first half of the month, then my autosaver is automatically going to be set for the 1st of next month. So all of these autosavers, you might see, you get a lot of points that start coming in on the 1st. Same thing on the 15th. So this is what I recommend everybody. Make sure you don't go beyond the time that you go inactive, but I recommend moving each of our autosavers to either the 8th, the 21st, or the 26th. And the reason why I recommend that is as your team gets bigger in this business and it really starts generating a lot of volume coming in from the autosavers, you're going to want the volume spread out a little bit throughout the month. So you're not just getting these big paydays on the 1st and the 15th. You're getting them all throughout the month on these different paydays as well. So I recommend go in there and do this and teach this, okay? So you've got 5 days to pick for it to run. The default run dates, as I mentioned, are the 1st and the 15th. So the best idea is to go and set your autosaver up to run on the 8th, the 21st, or the 26th. Now, this is important, okay? I don't mean this to be confusing, but I want you all to hear me. To stay active, you want to be getting an autosaver once every 30 days. So if right now is the 1st of the month, I don't want to go in, well, I can't really say it right now. Let's say that, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to make everybody confused because just because of the date, the way it is right now. I'll teach you this as we go. The key thing, though, is get your team to do the same thing. Get your team, when you're calling them and you're setting them up, have them move their autosavers to the 8th, the 21st, or the 26th. And you'll find, everybody, that's going to be very, very effective down the road as your team gets bigger to, again, spread out your pay. And if you're teaching this, it'll do the same for your team. I know there's a lot of people that sometimes on the 1st, they might have so much volume coming in from just the autosavers that they end up flushing points and flushing volume because there's so much coming in that day. And if we just teach people to spread them out, get them on different days of the month, it can be very advantageous for us and advantageous for them. It's a good habit to get into, okay? The next thing, and I'm not going to get into a whole ton of details on this because they're going to get into this on the corporate call tonight, but it's our Gold Rush Challenge. And I think the key thing is that we become aware of this. The second thing is that we start compiling teams, start getting together with people. You know, we just got done the holidays. There's been a lot of people on vacay and maybe on hiatus a little bit. So we need to get them plugged back in. We need to get this information in front of them. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of incentives for us to do that. There's a lot of cash and prize, or not cash, but different prizes that we can actually get that's actually better than cash. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you this right now. Here are the prizes that are available. We've got a 2024. It's going to be a custom wrapped Ford Mustang. I have no idea what it's going to look like, but they had said that it's going to somehow tell the history of 7K on the car. So going to be very, very interesting there. That's available. Somebody can win this. Whoever is the top producer and is on a team is going to win that car. And all it is going out there and just sharing this and not worrying about who says yes, who says no. And if you have an attitude that I'm going to just go out there and start sharing this with a lot of people, I'm going to tell you what, everybody, you start not worrying about the people who aren't taking your calls. You know, when you're picking up the phone and someone's ghosting you, you're not like, oh, why are they ghosting me? You don't worry about it because you got your funnel full of other people that you can follow up with, and you know you'll catch up with them later, and it creates a different posture for you as well. Matter of fact, when you call up that person who maybe has been ghosting you, they're going to hear it in your tone of voice that you're going there with or without them, and it's going to give them an attitude of, hey, I'm going to miss out. I better start taking action on this. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So there's also $15,000 that is available. So that is available out there. And I believe that there's ways that that's actually going to be in gold that people can get that. $7,000, $3,500, $2,000. And then also individual for people who just are not participating in a team. This is something that they can go out. Actually, the top 10 individuals overall who are out there participating. So the top 10 overall will go out there and get the most points on this contest are going to be the ones who are going to also be invited to a dinner and event at the Las Vegas. Now, the top 3 teams, okay? And this is why you want to find people who are motivated, who want to do this with you. Not people who are just going to sit back and sign up and then disappear. Enter the witness protection program. It doesn't do you any good, okay? You want to find people who just at least want to go out there and share and make this fun. This is not pressure. Don't put pressure on yourself. Just make it so it's fun. And I'll tell you what, everybody wins. If we're growing, everybody's going to win. The top 3 teams are going to win 1 ounce of gold that's going to go to each different member. That's outstanding. And then ½ ounce gold for the team number 2. Team 3 is going to get a framed uncut note. You can see all the prizes here. And then in Vegas, everybody who participates is going to be going into a contest with this. I have to tell you, that's going to be very, very exciting because that's 5 ounces of gold, this coin right here in the lower right. And they're going to give away 2 of those at the conference. And that right there is a $20,000 coin. That's a pretty good deal. And so think about that. Can you imagine getting yourself a $20,000 gold coin at the conference? Be quite something. So I want to tell you this, everybody. How do you get to where you want to go? It's by setting goals. It's the beginning of the year. It's the perfect time to do this. And I hated goal setting. It's like, I don't want to set goals, listen to all that. I have to write out things and do all this. I didn't want to do it because I felt in my head that I had it solid enough that it would just keep me going. But I'll tell you what, the stats show differently. If you write out your goals, you're more likely to hit them. And that's why it's important. But a lot of people just sometimes set goals that are either vague or something where they're not able to attain them they're not hitting a time range. So that's why we look at what are called SMART goals. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And I'm going to go through each of these very quickly with each of you, but this is what you want to do to set up your year. Okay. So the first one is specific. And I encourage everybody either take a shot of this or just ask yourself this question, because this is going to be allowing us to help you hit your goals if we know what they are. If we don't know what they are, we can't help you. So firstly, what exactly do you want to achieve? What's the goal that you want to have? Now, we're going to look at this in different time frames. So maybe a specific goal, because I'm going to show you 4 different times, would be annual. Where do you want to be next year? This whole year of 2024, where exactly are you going to be at the end of the year? Okay. You also maybe set this for 90 days out and maybe a month out or even a week. It's up to you. The shorter the time span, the more you have control over it. Okay. So that's very important. So firstly, what specifically do you want to get to? So don't even think of a timetable initially. What's a goal that you want to get to? Maybe what's a rank that you want to get to? What's an income goal you want to get to? Something like that. If you're looking at this from a 7K perspective, look at it that way. Okay. The next one, besides specific, is, whoops. And it's going right past. Where's my measurable? Why am I measurable in here? It's going right past it. I had measurable in here. I remember writing it. Oh, you guys are gonna have to give me a second. I didn't write in my measurable. Okay. Well, basically, measurable is that it's a way that you can tell if you hit your goal. Okay. Is it something that you were able to attain it? In other words, I'll give you an example. If it's a weight loss goal, it would be, I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, you can look on the scale, and if you've dropped 10 pounds, then that's a measurable goal. So you're able to go out there and set something that, again, you're able to literally track. So maybe if it's a rank that you want to get to, I want to get to gold. Okay, well, that's a measurable rank. We know what you need to do to get it. Once you get there, you've attained it. So it's something that we can actually measure and get to. So the next thing I'm going to I'm going to get back to the PowerPoint. So we now understand it's specific. It is measurable. The third is it achievable? This means, is it doable within the time that you set for yourself? So for example, I've had people that sometimes come into the business and they're like, I need to make $10,000 next week. And it's extremely unrealistic that that's going to happen. But, for some people, maybe in some other business that they had done, it was something that was doable for them. But we have to look at it. Is the goal doable? Is it something that's just going to be a far reach that's just because some people like to set these astronomical goals for themselves, and that's decent. It's nice that you set high goals, but if you're not hitting those goals, then subconsciously what you start telling yourself is that you're a person who doesn't hit your goals. And so we don't want that. We don't want you to start programming yourself and having an identity of someone who does not hit the goals. So we want to be able to set maybe that far-reaching goal that you set, but also goals in which you're setting up those daily victories for yourself too. So make sure your goal is achievable. Make sure it can be done within the time limit given. Time limit given is up to you. If it's a year, if it's a day even, if my goal is I'm going to go out there, I'm going to get information in front of 5 people today. That's measurable. Okay. Is it doable? Yeah, it is. Can it be done today? Yep, it can. It's achievable. And so think about that. And it's specific. Okay. I'm going to get 5 people to look at this information today. So we've already done that. Relevant. Is that goal important to you right now? Is it going to help you in the future? Well, if your goal was to go out today and introduce and get 5 people to take a look at this information, it's absolutely relevant, because this right here is something where you're building your future for yourself. And lastly, besides relevant, is time-based. This is what I was just talking about regarding today. everything that I just said. So for example, if you got up tomorrow and said, I'm going to set this so that today I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get 5 people to look at the Y7K video. I'm going to get 5 people that I'm going to be able to sit down with, or I'm going to even do that with 2 or 3 or something like that. It's a specific goal because you know a specific number. 2, it's measurable. You have that number, and if you get it done, if you sit down with 2, you know you've attained it. Is it something that is achievable? Yes, it is. You know that it is. Because you can always go out there and get 2 in a day if you put your mind to it. Is it relevant? If this is your goal to go out there and get whatever rank it is or whatever you want to do in 7K, yes, it is. And lastly, time-based. You're doing it within a day. You're doing it within a week. You're doing it within a month, within a year, whatever it might be. You set the timetable. Again, you have more control over it if you're setting small goals and you're building towards that bigger goal, but the time-based ones are very important. It comes down to our daily activity. So we want to map out our year. This is what I would tell you to do. Figure out what you want to get done in 2024, okay? Because if you're let's say that you're at the position of copper right now and you want to get to the position of silver, we'll say, then you set that as your annual goal. And now what you're going to do is you're going to look backwards. Anybody who's ever done a maze is probably going to tell you that it's easier to go from the inside of the maze and work your way out than doing it the way you're supposed to do by working your way out and going in. You're always hitting all these dead ends. But when you're going out, working your way backwards, it's much easier. So the same thing here, when you set your goal saying, okay, this is where I want to be by December 31st, 2024. Now, what do I need to do in each of the months? So I'm setting myself on a pace that's going to get done. This is where it comes down to 90-day goals, such as a 90-day run that you're hearing, where everybody's talking about, beginning of the year, going into the conference, a 90-day run is an outstanding thing. It's part of our contest that we have going. It comes down to weekly goals. We get paid every single week. And so we have a chance that, hey, if we can go out there and we have a paycheck that we can work towards, maybe that's a goal. I want to get a paycheck, at least some sort of income each week. What do I need to do? And this is where, again, we sit down, we map out the actions that are going to help us to be able to hit our goals. And then lastly, the daily goals. The daily goals are something that I would say is the one thing we have the most control over, because we map out in our own minds what we want. Now, and we can act on it that day. I'm going to show you this. These over here to the right are 2 things that I definitely recommend. These are more of the long-term sorts of mindset things, but you need to have that long-term goal, or it's easy to quit on a goal, because if you have nothing you're driving or striving for, it's easy to walk away. So the first thing is a vision statement. Now, a vision statement is simply you writing a letter. It's a personal letter, maybe about a day in your life. Usually it's a birthday or some sort of holiday that's, very significant for you and your family. And you write out in present tense, like, hey, I'm sitting here at my cabin, blah, 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 blah. And, with your family, or however you want to do it, just spell out or write out a day in the life of you at a future date, maybe 5 years down the road from now, 10 years down the road from now. And again, write it in present tense. So this way you're experiencing it in a sense, okay? When you read that, you're going to be amazed about how it can put your mind ahead. You can actually put your mind there. And anybody who's ever listened to Dennis Waitley, who I would recommend you listen to him, he's done incredible sorts of tests with athletes where they get them to visualize success, and literally they were getting the same physiological response that they would have even though they were only envisioning that in their minds. That's why it's important that we get that vision statement, so we start really realizing our dreams can be reality by saying them. Now, don't just write the vision statement and throw it in your closet. Keep it up and look at it daily. That's your dream. Same thing with a dream board. Take pictures, maybe do it with your family, put things that might be important to you, such as, things that maybe a vacation you're trying to plan, or maybe some material things that you might want, or just maybe pictures of your family, whatever it might be. So put these together. And then that's your long-term vision. That's your why. That's what's going to drive you to do that daily activity. That daily activity is going to lead you to your weekly goals that you want to hit, which in turn is going to lead you to the 90-day, 3-month goals that you want, which in turn are going to help you get those annual goals. And I'll tell you what, it starts again with our activity today. And so this was a plan. This was something I learned from David Bird, who's one of the top coaches out there. And he's a good friend. And he always taught me this. And sometimes I've fallen victim of not doing this. Always plan tomorrow before tomorrow begins. Most people get up and they're reactive to the day, and I have been very much a victim of that. I'm not saying I'm a victim. I'm the one who intentionally didn't go out there and maybe map out my day. But if we're proactive in terms of this is what I'm going to do, we write it out, we map out, hey, this is what my plan is for tomorrow. We're not waking up, okay, what am I going to do today? We're just mapping it out, and then we're getting into action. That's why it's very important to have a planner. And I recommend keep good records because, again, first of the year, you got some great ways to be able to keep advantage tax records for things for the future and such like that to make sure that you're protecting yourself for that. But plan out tomorrow. Everybody, as soon as we get off this, should say, okay, this is what my plan is for tomorrow. Now, you might have a job, you might be working a long day, or maybe whatever the case may be. Everybody's got different lives, but I would definitely recommend plan tomorrow something, some activity that's going to build your 7K business, something that's going to be action oriented, not C activity such as cleaning up your files, but A activity. Who are you going to reach out to? Who are you going to get this story in front of? How many times a day is the 7K story being told on you and your team's behalf? Very important. So here's a recap, just to go through the things that I would recommend to do. Coming back. Okay, I did a animation there, so whoops. Well, I don't know why it's jumping to the next thing, but we want to basically do this. You're going to spread the word. Here's a recap of everything we talked about tonight. These are probably the most important things that I would recommend to do. The Beauty of the World is been released now. This is a great chance for go out there, get people active again. People who kind of maybe stop their autosaver because they get sick of maybe getting a coin. Oh, I already got that coin. Oh, I'm never going to be able to get the whole set because I can never get those first two. All of these excuses are gone now with the Beauty of the World. It's a perfect chance to go out and revive a lot of people. That is a beautiful set starting today. Already started today. Secondly, start putting together your teams for the Gold Rush Challenge. There's some great prizes out there. And, you know, in order to get it, in order to win those prizes, all it really comes down to is doing the same basic fundamental activity of sharing this information with others, getting the membership in others' hands, not pushing it on people, using the system and working as a team to get this info in front of people. I will tell you what, people want this. We're coming into what I think is going to be a very tumultuous year. What I mean by that is we know that our dollar is the world is being de-dollarized. So our dollar is losing value on the world stage, and there's nothing that any one of us can do about it. And it is being done to bring us to what they are already preparing us for with a central banking digital currency system. I personally want to have a little bit more control over the money and the assets that we've worked hard for. Silver and gold and precious metals are some of the safest places to insure our money. And so I'm going to tell you, everybody, people need to know about what we have. They need to know. It's our obligation to let them know. Now, if they blow us off, if they sit there and say it's not for me, if whatever the case may be, we don't sit there and get bogged down. But we remember that, hey, I just need to keep spreading this message because it's going to fall on the right ears at some point in time. And when it does, those ears are going to be blessed, and we're going to be able to help maybe even save that family's life. And so it comes down to basically taking action, everybody. We need to go out there and get the word out. And I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I've already gone longer than I wanted to go. I want to simply say that, you know, this is the chance for us to go out there and make a difference in this coming year. This is a chance for us to go out there and really go out there and make 2024 the best year of your life, if you so desire. And I'm getting a message here. No. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. But does anybody have any questions on anything that I can answer before we hang up, or anything I can answer regarding any of the different promotions or whatever? I'll answer the best of my ability. And everybody does have the ability to unmute if you'd like. No questions? All right. Well, I recommend everybody get on the Zoom with corporate WebEx, I should say. That's going to be taking place in 90 minutes from now. So you want to be on that. And again, take action, everybody. Start putting together your team and start spreading the word about that autosaver. And literally, let's get this message in front of as many people as we can. So thank you, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful Monday evening. Happy New Year's, what's left of it. And let's make this the best year. Okay?
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mark.
Mark.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Thank you.
Happy New Year,
Bless you.
everybody.
Happy New Year.